Let's talk about more tips for year 7. If you haven't seen the first one, it should be right under this video. First one is to make sure that you have a way to contact a few of your classmates. If the class all have a question about an assignment that you don't want to ask the teacher, you can ask them. As well as it's a good way to create friendships. This one is to have a note in your bag signed from your parents about uniform. Just something like, please excuse your name for being out of uniform today, signed by the parent. And then the day that you are out of uniform, quickly add the date before giving it to your teacher. At my school, if you have a note from your parents, then you don't get a detention. So I just keep a note in my school bag. The next one is to actually eat at lunch. It is so hard to sneak food in class, and a lot of teachers won't let you eat in class. So if you're not hungry, at least just have one thing. Because the amount of times that I've eaten like under the desk, I mean, it's not that many. The next one is to pin your game and non-school tabs. If you are on your laptop and you're playing like unblocked games or something, or you're shopping online, and then the teacher walks over, so you have to switch tabs, but you can still see that that was the tab. What you do is you double click on that tab using your right mouse, and then it will come up with a bunch of stuff like close tab. When it says pin tab, hit pin tab. It'll be an extremely tiny thing in the corner that no teacher's going to see just walking past. The next one is just to have a small pencil case. You can get like these really small cylinder looking ones from Kmart, which I've got. At the start of the year, I had 2 pencil cases in my bag and it took up a lot of room. So just have a small pencil case with the necessities, a couple pens, a highlighter, a calculator, scissors and glue. And then for the extra things I might need throughout the year, I just put it in a little basket. And then throughout the year, if I need more pens or more stationery, I'll just go in the basket and then pop those supplies in my pencil case. The next one is those emergency kits that is everywhere. Everyone's always talking about getting an emergency kit, blah, blah, blah. I have done one of those for so many years and I never used anything in there. So just create like a really small one. You don't need to be putting like hand creams and all that stuff. Just put the essentials. But like you actually need to take deodorant to school. Next one is don't have your skirt past your knees. If you have to because of the school you go to, or if that's your style, then cool. But in general, it's better to have a shorter skirt. I'm not talking super short, but like not too long. You will figure out your perfect length in the first few days. The next one is to always have a book in your bag. For me, I always keep my maths book in my bag, and then if I remember my other books, then I'll put them in. But I have maths 4 days a week, so it's really important that I just keep it in there. Next one is do not be afraid to tell an adult if something bad is going on. At the end of the day, if it's to the point where it's bad, you need to tell someone. If someone is bullying you or you know something bad, you are not a snitch. You're actually doing the mature thing, seeking help. And if you know that your friends are being bullied, what sort of friend do you if you just stand by and watch it happen? Also, I did want to say that a lot of videos I've seen on TikTok is kind of like scaring you. And year 7 is definitely not the best year, but if you're prepared, you go into it open-minded, it's not going to be the worst thing ever. And trust me, within the first few weeks, you will get a hang of it. Anyways, this was really long, so don't mind that. If you made it to the end, drop a pink bow in the comments. And I've still got more, so if you want more, just let me know. Also, if you have questions about going into year 7, let me know in the comments, and then I will do my best to answer all of them.